Good morning, students. Now we are going to see the topic highway planning and alignment in the subject highway engineering. This is the first unit for your subject. In this unit, we are going to see how the planning is made for the road construction and what are all the alignments we have seen. So these are the based on this these topics are taken. So in this unit we are going to see what is highway planning and what are all the alignments we are going to see. Before that highway planning, we have to see what are all the classifications of roads. I mean, from the ancient till now, what are all the classifications of roads we have crossed among this. These are the some of the tips that we are going to see in this. This is the history of roads, how the roads are defined. These are the how the roads came from the ancient days from till now. What are all the developments we have all reached, and these are the techniques we are going to see. In these factors, they are told that the alignment is the first and the initial part of our highway, where the vehicles that are traveling in the road are the most important thing. In that, the alignment is also one of the most important thing. Some of the influencing factors, what are all the factors that are influencing our alignment, were also been chosen. So these are the uh, topics we are going to cover in this unit. First one is history of roads, the second one is classifications of roads, and the third one is planning and designing of roads, and the fourth one is influencing of highway and the alignment, and the fifth one is what are all the surveys we are going to take on, what are all the alignments we are going to take on. These are the things that we are going to see. In the history of roads, first developed road is called Roman road construction. In the ancient BC, they have been chosen some of the ancient types of roads. In this diagram you are seeing what are all the components that they have chosen to take the road. These are the some of the pictures where the base at the bottom trench, you are seeing the diagram, and that bottom trench, in this place they have chosen digging some water layers to put these types of small stones to give the base. This is the base of the road. In the residential we are saying that this is a foundation. This is the initial step for foundation, these small stones, where the second layers are compacted with the cement mixed, that broken tiles, where some of the waste products coming from some of the cements and the tiles, these are the materials which is acted as a filler material for giving some of the more components. In this second layer we are seeing that broken sands, stones, pebbles, and the small layers of that, you know. This third layer is mixing of the cement and the smaller particles while comparing to this second layer, and the fourth layer is made up of rocks like substance which is compacted with the soil or sand. This gives some load acting agent. This acts as a load acting agent where the vehicle may travel on this road. To when the load is directly applied, in these larger stones transfers the load into the smaller portion. Here the filler materials are sand and cement and some other tiles particles, so that the load can be easily transferred to the base product. This is the first initial road construction done by the Roman people. So some of the history of roads we are seeing in that picture, in that PPT. First one is ancient road, second one is Mughal period, British period, and free India roads. This is in ancient period roads. These roads are modified for the traveling of bullock carts. At that period there is no vehicles, cars, or automobile industries. So in that period they have chosen only this road is meant for only carts. bullock cart, horse carts. These are the roads that are specially manufactured for this. And the second one is Mughal period road. In that 15th century, these roads are constructed. After some of the advantages, what are all the disadvantages in the ancient period are rectified in the Mughal period. So some of the disadvantages had been added to these Mughal period roads, and some of the richest people may meant some automobile, cars or bikes or something else. So while comparing to this ancient period roads, this Mughal period roads comes under more advantages. And the next one is British period roads, where we are saying that tar roads are ancient. This comes under this British period roads on the 17th and 18th century, where the automobile industries was in peak. So for example, in one city there are some of the, or some of the 500 peoples or 100 peoples are staying in that, among the 50 of them having automobile, something else. So for that development, particular development, we have chosen this British period. And the next one is free India, where the tar or bitumen roads we are saying. So after that 1950 independence, this free India roads has been constructed. These are some of the developments how the highway are facing. These are the developments. So some of the ancient roads, Indian roads are Indus Valley civilization, that we are saying no, ancient roads. These ancient roads comes under these subheadings. First one is Indus Valley civilization. The second one is the Mauryan rule. In the, these are the kings where they have aligned the roads for their peoples and for their own purpose. Based on this, some of the developments has been taken. First one is the Indus Valley civilization, where the roads with bricks, drains, and on the both sides, where the water that is the biggest enemy for the roads. If it is logged means the road will surely get damaged. So rectify this, they have chosen the drains based on their both sides. So this comes under Indus Valley civilization. On considering this Indus Valley civilization, that Mauryan rule, 4th century constructed a Rajpath, highway roads like that, and the Bannick carts for the merchants, particularly for the buyers or walkers, something else like that. So they have specially meant the road for that. The next one is Ashoka regime, where the roads are constructed with the longest road, 4.8 to 6.4 kilometer at that period. This is the one of the most speakable roads among that Ashoka regime. Next one is Mughal period roads. These are also called as trunk roads, where the two-way roads have been constructed in this Mughal period. And the next one is British roads, where the trunk roads comes under four-lane roads. The two-lane is for traveling from one side to next two ways for the opposite direction. These roads comes under British period. That PWD, some of the laws and issues, some of the specifications that are all comes under this British period roads. These are the some of the largest roads network, where over the 2.1 million miles overall the Indian roads are along among their states. These comes under this Indian roads, where the network connections connecting of roads in this, these are all comes under this Indian roads. What are all the impact of transportation? What are all the developments we have seen through towards these roads comes under this economic development, on a social development, spatial development, cultural development, and the political development. Where the economic wise development we have seen this in these roads, where the social and the cultural developments have been seen, political development also has been taken. For these developments, they have chosen some of their planning and designing committees. In this slide, we have seen that what are all the committees formed, and why the committees are formed, and what is the purpose. Have they satisfied their purpose of committee joining this committee? First committee is called Jayakar committee. These committees are formed under after the construction of free roads. So in this Jayakar committee, formed in the year 1927 for the Central Road Fund. In the name itself, there is a name called fund for developments of road, and after the reconstruction for the developments of roads, this committee is formed purely for funding some of the money from the road users, getting that money from the road users, and we are just implementing that money for the after their development or reconstruction. This comes under this Jayakar committee, that we are paying the road tax, some of the specifications they are saying. So these are all the committees. This is the committee that framed that uh, Jayakar committee that formed the road tax. Those are the dependents. Where the Indian Road Congress (IRC), these committees formed meant for mainly for specifications. The road should be like this. The height of the road should be like this. The width of the road should. So comes under the specification. This Indian Road Congress have been formed. Next one is Central Road Research Institute (CRRI) for the national highways. This is meant only for national highway in the year 1956. In that National Highway Act also they have fixed that in the year 1956. Some of the rules and regulations are framed by this committee for the national highway. These are the things. The next one is second 20-year road plan. In the year 1961 they have been meant for the research board. The 20-year plan, this year continuously showing the 20 years for one committee to form the other committee, it comes under the 20 years. So these are the specially meant for this. So this comes under 20-year plan. In this 20-year plan they have named Nagpur plan, Jaipur plan, like that. So we are going to see that what is Jayakar committee. In the year 1927 they have formed, where the provisional and the local government have been formed, meant specially for the financial statement. This is that word, financial and technical capacity of the road development. For the development of road, this committee is formed meant for financial level. For the extra tax, petrol and the usage of roads, these are all comes under this committee. To establish the semi-technical institute, by their knowledge, by their advice, the developments has been taken by this Jayakar committee. The next one is called Central Road Fund. In the year 1929 they have formed. In this we are going to see what are all the percentages that have been meant for their works. For example, the distribution of petrol as follows: 57 percentage for national highways, and the 30 percentage for state highways, and the 12.5 percentage is for workers or railway crossing. These are all comes under these funds have been allocated like this. From this the next committee is called Indian Road Congress. In the year 1934 they have been provided some of the forum at the regular interval of polling for their maintenance, annual maintenance, and their restrictions. These committees has been formed to recommend the standard specifications, to show how the road should be. To these are mainly 90% by the contractors or engineers. Their specifications should be standards. For example, the thickness of the bitumen should be 3 mm, means the thickness should be followed 3 mm till how the road continues. So these are all the Indian Road Congress committees. This is the recommendations by Indian Road Congress (IRC), especially meant for the recommendations. These are the types of codes and their books, which is mean showing one of their gun. For example, IRC SP 481998 Hill Road Manual. In this book, they have told how the hill road should be, how the water should be drained, because the hill roads are 90% mostly slope towards downwards. So if the flow of water comes under downwards, the road might be get easily damaged. So to rectify these types of obstructions, in this they have chosen this specifications. The alignment should be like this. The slope should be 1:9 or 1:8. The slope, the drain of the water should be like this. So these are all the specifications comes under this. uh, Next one is Ministry of Road Transports and Highways. What are all the works for the development of roads and for the construction? The first one is planning, the second one is development, and the third one is maintenance. These three plays a major role in our country. First one is initial planning of roadways. The second one is development and the maintenance of roadways, and the third one is maintenance and their developments. These are the techniques. Some of the techniques technical and financial has been represented in this ministry. So what are all the funds we have allocated, what are all the major expenditures that we have spent towards these roads, these are all comes under this ministry of roads. So these are all the committees, what are all the committees that have been formed, what are all the classifications of roads we have seen in this topic. So these are the topics that we have seen towards this thing.